this new debate about this referendum proposal, they do not fully understand, or Nanchi do not fully understand. And I want to be specific here, because you said that you want to reduce the number of parliamentarians, if I may use that global term, from 416, you want to go down to 194 maximum or at best 147. Earlier on, we were speaking to two legislators, Senator Irungu Kangata from Muranga and woman representative for Homa Bay, Gladys Wanga, and they're of the view that reducing constituencies would be an uphill task because nobody wants to release that constituency. But even before I get to the technicalities of that, you want to reduce the cost from 35 billion shillings to 36.8 to 5 billion shillings. So you have saved 31 billion shillings. If you share out to across the counties, it's maybe 0.78 billion shillings per county.
About 100 million.
Does it make a case
Not
because...
even per county. Actually, wards. We have actually done our calculation. You probably will ask each ward, what is your most pressing need in this ward? What do you want to fix? I mean, I am in the Kilimani ward. I live in the Kilimani ward. And for me, I think what I will say, if we were to be asked, what do you want to fix most in Kilimani ward? I would say, let's fix the roads. Yes. Okay? Let's fix the road, let's fix the pathways, let's fix the lighting, that will improve security and the rest. So I think there is a benefit in terms of, and you see, parliamentarians are being selfish here. They just think that Punguza Mizigo is targeting them. Yes. It's going beyond that. In fact, we are saying, like Kagusha said, we cannot now attempt even to touch counties. In fact, let's begin to measure development from ward level. Okay? Are we able to see development in each and every ward? Are we able to see good roads? Are we able to see schools? Are we able to see hospitals or dispensaries with medicine? That is exactly what Punguza Mizigo is all about. It's actually a benefit to Kenyans. It has nothing to do with personal interests or anything like that. Like I said, it's time for us to ask ourselves hard questions, Sam. You know, when we passed this constitution, we never allocated any resources, the 290 constituencies. We never spoke about... from the national government, CDF. Exactly. We never really allocated, and even that right now is unconstitutional, because the functions of...
it's not unconstitutional.
It is.
According to a court of law, they gave instructions that Parliament had to make sure that it's aligned to the new constitution. That's why even the name changed to National Government Constituency Development
To align
Fund.
to the new constitution, meaning transfer it to the devolution. So if you keep on holding those funds at the constituency level, it is unconstitutional.
But they're being implemented under a government, a national government resource.
Yeah, but look at the functions of what constituencies want to do. It is functions of the county governments. That fund should be transferred to the governors of the counties, not constituencies. But listen, our Punguza Mizigo is doing better than that. We are saying, let's now use the word, really, as the unit of development. That's when we can begin to measure development. Because let me tell you, constituencies, counties as they are, they're not giving us a clear measure of how development is happening on the ground. But if you use the word and really reallocate money to ward level, in terms of development, then I think we can begin to measure or even see actual development.
That's good philosophy, but how do you explain?
It's not philosophy. This is reality. This is
reality. Is love for knowledge. When you say 31.8 billion shillings will be saved, the public wage bill as far as 2017-18 is concerned was 650 billion shillings. We're still way too high. We're still very expensive. 52% of our resource of our revenue goes to paying for public wage.
Which is why, Sam, if you had read our state of the response to the State of the Nation address by President Uhuru Kenyatta, because President Uhuru Kenyatta was speaking about austerity measures, and one of the challenges, the problems that he cited, and we agreed with him, is that overrepresentation is costing us a lot of money, especially political offices. Overrepresentation. But Third Way Alliance Kenya, in this Punguza Mizigo, went ahead and suggested to the president, listen, we agree with you, overrepresentation is costly, but let's also begin to address some of the issues that we have a problem with in this country. For example, we challenge the president. Why don't you begin by your own example? Sell your private jet. We don't need it. Because it's costing us billions of Kenyan shillings to maintain, parking fees and all that. Secondly, chief administrative secretaries. He created chief administrative secretaries against the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya because there was even no public participation in that thing. Secondly, we said cut down wage bill. Okay? Salaries. We proposed, let's even cap salaries of president to a maximum of 500,000 Kenya shillings per year, per month. MPs, the same thing. We also said renegotiate repayment of our national debt.
Right.
Currently, we are paying about 800 billion Kenya shillings per annum. We can renegotiate that to, renegotiate for a longer payment period that will bring us to about, 300 billion or even less.
Right.
So, okay. So we have suggested measures that can actually reduce the wage bill. As a matter of fact, we even propose the system you now call regional county commanders. I know people think they will lose jobs, but in terms of austerity measures, the president doesn't have to create another system or the government that parallels devolution. Okay? We have to face these realities. I know some people will think that they will lose their jobs. Actually, those county regional commanders, we don't need them. They can be redeployed either as ambassadors or security attaches, wherever, all over the country, and give devolution the full effect. In fact, that is what the committee of experts proposed in the on the harmonized draft of 17th November 2009, that to give full effect to devolution, let's not have another parallel system, competing with it.
Dr. Aukot, before we get to how far you have gone with this proposal and this journey, early in the year, during the devolution conference in Kakamega, Raila Odinga talked about reverting, or rather considering once again the Bomas draft that proposed. We have, I think that time it was about 17 regions, but now his proposal...
It was 14.
Yes, thank you for that correction. 14 regions, so that devolution is cascaded through those 14 regions, and people are able to manage affairs through that level. Another suggestion was that there needed to be offices, different offices, like the office of the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Ministers, and this is consistent with what Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka said yesterday during an interview with Hussein Mohammed, that they have that proposal that there should be the President, maybe one or two Deputy Presidents, a Prime Minister, and his deputies. In your proposal, are these thoughts that you're having of looking at the structure of government?
Listen, I'm sorry to say this on national television, but Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Odinga are very dishonest politicians. First of all, they keep on engendering very tired ideas that actually are costly to this country. What they are proposing is going to be very costly for Kenyans. Their proposal is based on the fact that how can we be accommodated into government? Because... Is it necessarily them, or it's for the inclusivity of the communities of the country? First of all, that's a very, very false narrative, that this country has excluded anybody. It's not true. The counties as they are very inclusive. Very inclusive. Let's even... National government? National government ought to be inclusive. Okay? The fact that President Uhuru Kenyatta has refused to comply with the provisions of Article 130 of the Kenya Constitution that talks about the national executive that must have the regional and ethnic diversities of the people of Kenya. That's the language in Article 130. Now, that does not make the Constitution exclusive of everyone. We should be asking the President that, listen, in appointing your national government, you have not included the face of Kenya. And this is a factor of bad leadership. Because the President, in appointing the national executive, it should be guided by Article 130 of the Constitution. It is Parliament that has failed in its functions to point out the mistakes the President has made in appointing the national executive. By the way, those people who are suggesting that we amend the Constitution for purposes of inclusivity, they rallied their members of Parliament to boycott parliamentary sessions when President Uhuru Kenyatta proposed a list for cabinet. They're the ones who failed Kenyans. Now they're coming around to say, oh, we must be included. This is why I'm saying these people are very dishonest. In fact, what we need to do, Sam, is this. We need a lean parliament. A parliament that will only focus on three main things. Number one, legislation. When you pass legislation, you must consider the economic, social aspects of your country. Number two, oversight of government. Right. Okay? Number three, representation. Those are the three cardinal functions of the National Assembly. What we are saying at the National Assembly right now is being captured by the executive. Most recently, when they are passing the amendment bill, the amendment law to the VAT Act of 2013, they never considered their constituents, that their constituents will suffer by imposing 8% on petroleum products. Right. They never took that into account. But they never. Well, but no, they are just not enough. I disagree. I disagree. If they did, Third Way Alliance Kenya, on 29th of April this year, sent a memorandum based on Article 119 of the Constitution to ask Parliament, please amend the VAT Act. Basically, just amend Section 1B of the first schedule to tax exempt petroleum products. Parliamentarians did not act on our memorandum, even though the law requires of them to act on a memorandum sent by any Kenyans. The drama they showed us, that was acting. In fact, we should give our parliamentarians the best award for drama because they pretended that they had been rallied. I mean, and of course, we knew that they had been rallied by both Jubilee and NASA. Okay?
Yes.
They took the word of their leaders, party leaders, as strictly. So, if they are truly honest, I challenge parliamentarians today to sign up a petition saying we never agreed with the president, we never agreed with our party leaders. We challenge them that.
Some of them are on recess and they're not here, but let's just focus on the fact that...
If they represent their people, if they care about legislation...
Recess doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, now...
After all, I think they have resumed today. To be fair.
Sure.
Oh, yesterday.
So then the former Prime Minister, get back to Boma's draft. 14 regions. We have 47 counties. Is it a tenable idea to really reduce the number of counties?
It won't fly with Kenyans. Remember, our 2010 constitution is a developmental constitution. It is meant to bring services to the people of Kenya. I think the former Prime Minister needs to read Article 6 of the Kenya Constitution very keenly. Or maybe he can ask his advisors to advise him. The Article 6 of the Kenya Constitution says, talks about devolution, that you must devolve, every state organ must devolve to each and every part of the Republic of Kenya. Meaning, we must actually take services closer to the people.
Right.
We cannot take services closer to the people by reducing the counties. In fact, I think the 47 counties are sufficient enough for purposes of development. But what Third Way Alliance Kenya has done in terms of our Punguza Mizigo campaign, we have said, let's improve this idea of 47 counties as units of development. Let's take it to the ward level. Let's use the ward. Let's devolve further and say, how do we devolve development? So that each county, as you receive the billions of Kenyan shillings for purpose of development, then you need to look at the wards in your county and then begin to prioritize what their needs.
Right.
Exactly. So I think for me, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, should stop this tired narrative of the Bomas draft. We now have the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And that Constitution of Kenya 2010, I think for me, we are not saying it may not be a perfect document, depending on where you're sitting, but it is sufficient enough to help Kenyans develop. When we decided, we had started this process online since April. But we decided, okay, let's go and educate Kenyans a little bit more. And we started our campaign. We went to Baragoi, went to Lari, went to Thika, we were in Nakuru, we've been to Isiolo, and you can't believe, Sam, the amount of invitations we are getting from very far. Kwale, I think we might be going to Nyandarua tomorrow. We've got, Kisumu calling. Everywhere. Kenyans really want this thing done.
So finally, very quickly, how far are you with this process? Because you have to get signatures, I believe, at least 1 million?
Yes,
am I right? Of registered voters?
At least 1 million, yes.
So that you can now move on to that referendum proposal proper with IBC. How far are you? So
first of all, yesterday we actually met with the leadership at IBC. We met Chebukati and their commissioners, and we updated them. Actually, we wanted to find out whether their proposal, they have started a referendum committee, subcommittee, that is building in, I think, new rules on holding referenda. So we wanted to know whether actually what the rules they are developing will affect our referenda. So they assured us it won't. So far, we are actually over 500,000 Kenyans who have actually signed up. And actually our target is...
And you are sure you'll not fall into the same trap like Okoa Kenya did when their signatures
we are doing this meticulously. Remember, we developed an online campaign which we presented to IBC, which IBC actually approved. And yesterday we were even updating IBC on the process. We explained to them the process we are following. It is so... In fact, what you need to do, Sam, allow me, I just want listeners, viewers right now, to go to thirdwayalliance.com / punguza mizigo. It will only take you 1 minute to fill in the form. And once you fill in the form, it will even give you a confirmation on email or, you know, and you can't even attempt to fill it twice.
But you have to be a registered voter.
You have to be a registered voter. And I think we don't want to be benchmarked with Okoa Mizigo or even Punguza Mizigo.
Okoa Kenya,
because
Okoa
Kenya. Because the truth for the matter is, they were using more politics than anything else. Ours is not politics. This is not about 2022 campaign. Election ended last year. Right now, we are talking about the issues that concern Kenya. That's what matters to us.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ekuru Aukot, for coming through to talk to us about that proposal. Wish you well with this plan.
And I hope you have signed some.
Well, we'll consider that. But congratulations. Of course, you have had quite a lot coming from the viewers saying that they want Punguza Mzigo to succeed. But they need to understand that should they sign up, then they might lose their constituencies because now the units of election will be the counties.
They won't lose the wards.
They won't lose the wards.
Which is the unit of development as we are proposing. So they are still okay.
Right.
Very much okay.
Joy, what do you think?
Interesting
To
conversation.
Punguza Mzigo?
No, listen, I don't give my opinions on this show. My opinions, I save them for social media. So maybe check my Twitter later on.
Don't be shy. Just support it.
She wants to be apolitical.
Yeah,
well.
we'll try that. But that brings us to the end of Daybreak for today.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I'm
much.
told you have some feedback. Maybe we can look at that first before we sign out. The feedback, what the people have been saying on social media, on text messages, so that we can see if they agree with those viewers or rather those speakers
if they agree
who
with
spoke on
Punguza
TV.
Mzigo.
Yes, with Punguza Mzigo. I'm waiting for that feedback. First of all, hashtag Punguza Mzigo by Third Way Kenya and Dr. Ekuru Aukot is the only referendum push that has tabled cogent issues that when addressed fully by amending the current constitution will definitely lower the cost of living and improve the lives of all Kenyans. Hashtag Daybreak, that is F. Okango, I think I know him. You also know him. Next, Senior Arapto says, I will only support a referendum if to abolish Senate as a whole, women reps and nominated MPs as well as senators, and number 2, to reduce counties to 8. Wow, you clearly don't want any leadership in this country. Then next is Kisiangaine. If senators and MPs are to be elected by the same electorate, that is the county level, what would make Senate an upper house legitimacy issue?
It's well in our proposal, actually.
Yeah. So he's asking if all the people are being elected by the same people from the county level, what makes it an upper house?
So you just need to amend the constitution and say that Senate is a upper house as we are proposing with veto power. So that, as I said, for example, if the National Assembly passes the so-called Division of Revenue Bill number 7, Senate can say, no, this is a bad and constitutional law. That's what will make Senate